This is Apostle Lance Businge, your marriage fitness coach. Now, any married man who makes decisions, especially major decisions, without consulting with or involving his wife in the making of those decisions is bound to make grave mistakes. Why? God designed a wife to be her husband's helper. Now, you cannot despise your helper and still expect that things will go well with you. You need to understand that it takes humility for a husband to consider his wife when he is making decisions in his marriage. And also it takes pride for you to think that your wife has no capacity to participate in the decision making of your marriage. And I also want you to understand the Bible says that God gives more grace to the humble, but he sets himself, he resists the proud. So if you are proud, thinking that your wife has nothing that she can bring to the table, and so you make decisions without involving her, I want you to understand that the Bible says God resists the proud, so God will resist you. Now, there is a gentleman that I know who has made some grave mistakes around his finances. And the reason for that is because he has always made those decisions away from his wife. The other day I was talking to my wife and I told her, do you know that if this guy would involve his wife in making those decisions, that some of these mistakes could have been avoided? And that is so true. So many of you are making mistakes because you think you can make it on your own. And there is a time I was invited to give a lecture on finances in marriage. And after my lecture, a gentleman stood up and these were his words. He said, I didn't know that all along I have been limiting myself by not involving my wife in the decisions I make around finances, because he had decided that he will make the major decisions on finances and leave the wife to handle the rest. But this guy confessed that he is making a lot of money, but he does not know where all this money goes. And the reason for that is God designed our wives to be our helpers. And we need to learn to take advantage of that help. You see, the Bible says in Ecclesiastes that two are better than one, for they have a good reward for their labor. Now, this means that a husband and his wife together are better than a husband standing alone. So every man out there, if you know that you have been despising your wife, if you know that you have not been involving your wife, I want to assure you that you would have been so far if you had involved them in the first place. So humble yourself and learn to consult with your wife and learn to involve your wife in the decisions that you make. Do not make any choices that come as a surprise to your wife. As much as possible, involve her. This will save you a lot. Stay blessed.